Hey good people, welcome to the channel. I'm Musically Malnourished and you're on my journey to go deep and wide in discovering new music and artists. Today we are getting into what's kind of been known as like the hip-hop Bible, one of the quintessential hip-hop rap albums in all of existence. This is 1994's Illmatic by Nas. I have heard this album referred to so many different times in comments, in commentaries on other albums that we've been in. So today is the day we finally go through it. Now, Nas would have been, I think, 21 at the time this album released and has obviously gone on to have a really incredible career. You guys let me know, how are the follow-up albums? Because as highly regarded as this album is, I could only imagine having to follow that up. But like I said, he's clearly has just an expansive discography and has done just perfectly fine for himself. But let me know how his other projects stack up to this one. We're going to get in, give each song a listen. I'll make a few comments along the way, but we'll be keeping notes in our handy dandy notebook here. That way, after each track, we can talk about the things that stand out and see what other information we can find. If you want to skip to a specific song, the timestamps are in the description, or just press play and hang out with us. We'll get into it with track 1, titled The Genesis.
And you're sitting at home doing this shit? And you should be honored a medal for this. Stop fucking around and be a man. There ain't nothing out here for you. Oh, yes, there is. This.
Yo, Nas. Yo, what the fuck?
I don't recognize that movie.
Chill, that's the shit, God. Chill.
Hey, yo, pull out and shave, man. Let's count this money, man. Hey, yo, Nas, with the jacks, with the grass over there, you know what I'm saying? Cause we've been in the Jacksons. You know how we get down, baby.
True, Nas, man. Shit is mad, bro.
I gotta learn that bass line.
Yo, word of mother. All them crab ass rappers be coming up to me, man. Word of mother, man. I think we need to let them niggas know it's real, man.
True indeed, you know what I'm saying? But when it's real, you doing this even without a record contract, you know what I'm saying? He's doing this since back then.
I'm saying, regardless how I go down, we gon' keep it real. We try to see many matches and coops, kid.
True, yo, how that go? Where's Grand Wizard and Mayo at, man?
Yo, who got the Phillies? Take this Hennessy, man.
Hey, yo, Doug, come on, man. Stop waving that, man. Put one at me, son.
Hey, alright, but take this Hennessy.
Oh no.
Take the clip, man. Come on,
Light the Phillies up, man. Niggas stop fucking burning Phillies, man. Light some Phillies up there.
Pass that hand rock, nigga.
Yo, we drinking this straight up with no chaser. I ain't fucking with you, nigga.
I'm saying no, man.
What is it? What is it, baby?
What is it, son? What is it?
You know what time it is.
What is saying, man? You know what I'm saying? Niggas don't listen, man. Representing is Illmatic.
Let's let it play to the second track.
Yeah. Hey, yo, Black, it's time.
Word, it's timing.
It's time, man.
Alright, begin.
Yeah, straight out the fucking dungeons of rap, where fake niggas don't make it back. I don't know how to start.
Dude, I love the bass.
Rappers are monkey flipping with the funky rhythm I be kicking. Musician, inflicting composition of pain. I'm like Scarface, sniffing cocaine, holding an M16. See with the pen I'm extreme. Now, bullet holes left in my peak holes. I'm suited up with street clothes. Hand me a 9 and out defeat foes. Y'all know my stilo, with or without the airplay. I keep some E and J, sitting bent up in the stairway, or either on the corner betting grants with the CeeLo champs. Laughing at bass heads, trying to sell some broken amps. G-Packs get off quick forever. Niggas talk shit, reminiscing about the last time the task force flipped. Niggas be running through the block shooting. Time to start the revolution. Catch a body head for Houston. Once they caught us off guard, the Mac 10 was in the grass and I ran like a cheetah with thoughts of an assassin. Picked the Mac up, told brothers back up. The Mac spit. It was hitting niggas, one ran. I made a backflip. Heard a few chicks scream. My arm shook, couldn't look. Gave another squeeze, heard it click. Yo, my shit is stuck. Tried to cock it, it wouldn't shoot. Now I'm in danger. Finally pulled it back and saw 3 bullets caught up in the chamber. So now I'm jetting to the building lobby, and it was full of children, probably couldn't see as high as I be. It's like the game ain't the same. Got younger niggas pulling Pulling the triggers, bringing fame to their name and claim some corners. Cruise without guns or corners. In broad daylight, stick up kids, they run up on us. 4-5s and gauges, max and facts. Same niggas that catch you back to back, snatching your cracks in black. Yo, is a snitch on the block, getting niggas knocked. So hold your stash till the coke price drop. I know this crackhead who said she gotta smoke nice rock. And if it's good, you bring your customers and measuring plots. But yo, you gotta slide on a vacation. Inside information keeps large niggas erasing and they wives spacing. It drops deep as it does in my breath. I never sleep, cause sleep is the cousin of death. Beyond the walls of intelligence, life is defined. I think of crime when I'm in a New York state of mind.
Gosh, such a bounce, dude.
Be having dreams that I'm a gangster. Drinking Moet's, holding texts, making sure the cash came correct. Then I step investments in stock, sewing up the blocks to sell rocks. Winning gunfights with mega cops, but just a nigga walking with his finger on the trigger. Make enough figures until my pockets get bigger. I ain't the type of brother made for you to start testing. Give me a Smith and Wesson, I have niggas undressing. Thinking of cash flow, Buddha and shelter. Whenever frustrated, I'm a hijack Delta and the PJs. My blend tape plays, bullets are strays. Young bitches is grades. Each block is like a maze full of black rats trapped. Plus the album is packed. From what I hear in all the stories, when my peoples come back black, I'm living where the nights is jet black. The fiends fight to get crack. I just max. I dream I could sit back and lamp like Capone with drug strips on. All the legal luxury life rings flooded with stones. Homes. I got so many rhymes out.
Dude, he's not stopping.
But I must maintain it be prosperous. Though we live dangerous, cops could just arrest me, blaming us we're held like hostages. It's only right that I was born to use mics, and the stuff that I write is even tougher than dice. I'm taking rappers to a new plateau through rap slow. My rhyming is a vitamin, hell without a capsule. The smooth criminal on beat breaks. Never put me in your box if your shit eats tape. The city never sleeps, full of villains and creeps. That's where I learned to do my hustle. Had to scuffle with freaks. I'm an addict for sneakers, 20s a Buddha and bitches with beepers. In the streets I could greet ya, about blunts I teach ya. Inhale deep like the words in my breath. I never sleep, cause sleep is the cousin of death. I lay puzzle as I backtrack to earlier times. Nothing's equivalent to the New York state of mind. State of mind. Your state of mind. Your state of mind. Your state of mind. Your state of mind.
Is it saying Nas Nasty Nasir? Which I think his real name is Nasir. Okay, man, I gotta collect my thoughts. It's hard at this point even to think back to the opening track, just because he was going on and on and on and on in that second track. It just hit me. I was listening to the beat, following the flow, and all of a sudden I was just like, hold up, like what are we doing here? Like you're just not stopping. Such a great bounce. And if you've been around the channel any length of time, you know that I most resonate with these kind of like older school type rap, the street stuff. And I don't know the best way to explain it because I'm still learning and growing myself. As much as I love like some of the real like high funky production stuff, I enjoy a lot of the kind of emo rap side just because my personal background growing up, the alternative rock and punk rock and stuff was some of my favorite when I was a kid. And so anyways, kind of taking some of those sentiments into rap and hip hop is really fun for me. But even within like a lot of Ye's projects and things, it's the songs that feel like this old school, just killer rhythm, not necessarily a whole lot of complication within the beat. Like even on this song, there's some change ups and stuff, but for the most part, it's kind of the same thing all the way through. But then all of a sudden and this is what I find that I really love with J. Cole as well, even though he has some great production stuff, but a lot of his stuff is kind of simple, but it puts the flow, the bounce, the lyrical content right on the forefront. So all that being said, really enjoyed, obviously, the intro, the genesis. It kind of gives you this zoomed in picture of this group of friends, I'm assuming, with the second song being New York State of Mind. And I think Nas grew up in New York. And so you kind of get this group of friends in New York. You've got them talking about, they've got some Hennessy. One of them obviously pulls out a gun. And for a second, I was like, oh my gosh, somebody's about to get shot. And but maybe that would be more fitting in a Kendrick and a Kendrick album, because then all of a sudden it would go a little bit more conscious. But no, you can hear one of them has a gun. They've got the alcohol, and they're kind of just talking and stuff. And I think that moving into New York State of Mind begins to reflect maybe even the idea of how these boys, would grow up. This picture of street life in New York, drugs, girls, violence, success. Obviously, the speaking of Scarface. The other thing I found funny too, and we'll go in and look at some of the biographical information on these two tracks, is his use of the word dyke, saying, I think tough as dykes is what he said. And I wonder if that at all influences Kanye's use of the word, because he's used it several times. I don't know if Jay-Z has, possibly. I just know I've heard it a handful of times in that context, whether it was like talking about their sexual prowess being enough to turn essentially a gay woman straight, or somebody like not necessarily being attracted to them, therefore they must be gay. But it's just funny because you don't hear that a lot, but to hear it used here, I wonder if that at all influenced Ye and then possibly Jay-Z, if I can remember correctly. So let's go ahead and hop in here. The Genesis begins Nas's hip-hop Bible known as Illmatic. The track begins with vocals from his debut verse on Main Source's 1991 track Live at the Barbecue, which I heard that this was kind of what, I guess, put him on everybody's radar, and dialogue from the 1983 movie Wild Style before kicking in an instrumental used in the movie's soundtrack. Nas and executive producer Faith Newman reunited in 2014 to talk about the genesis for Illmatic's 20th anniversary. Nas's brother Jungle appeared on the Genesis and said the following: Nas picked the beat for us to talk on in the background. I remember I didn't like the beat. I was like, off this beat, man? This is garbage. I was mad young. I didn't even understand what he was doing. Respect. So Nas said to XXL, I always loved all the breaks in the Wild Style movie. This session wasn't in the beginning of recording the album, it was closer to the end. I brought a VHS tape of the movie and had the engineer just loop it. So yeah, produced by Faith Newman, which from what I understand as well is this album leaned on a handful of producers and was one of the things that helped break people out of the industry standard of just using a single producer through an entire project, which I think that there are still great places for that. I was listening to the Billy Woods album yesterday, Ethiops, or a few days ago, and he has one producer through the whole thing, but it's such a specific sound and mood and atmosphere that he's going for, and I likened it to when somebody uses an artist for a movie, to do a movie soundtrack. A lot of times you have one person who's crafting this sound that's got to be this narrative tale all the way through. And so I think if you want kind of like a lot of differentiating sound and unique things and flows, that is a really good thing, within an album. But also if you want just one really cohesive kind of narrative throughout, that can be challenging using different producers. All that being said, I think it's cool that, this album itself kind of helping show like, oh, okay, we can do it a different way, or reinforcing that idea, because obviously some of my favorite albums are not one producer all the way through. There are a handful of producers that I really, really enjoy listening to. When I see them show up on tracks, I'm like, oh yeah, dude. I do want to look at this 1983 movie Wild Style. I'd never heard of that. Let's see. South Bronx graffiti artist Zorro is commissioned to paint a backdrop for a hip-hop concert. That's interesting. Good as a rap and graffiti documentary, poor as a movie. Hip-hop document, not a movie in the conventional way, unique snapshot of a moment in that time. This one says they call this the film that launched 1,000 backspins. Premier hip-hop feature film along the 1984 arena documentary Beat This, a hip-hop history that helped shape the global consciousness of the world-conquering hip-hop eruption. Okay. Let me know if you guys have ever heard of that. All right. We'll look at track 2, Sickest Beats to Never Be Rapped Over. Remember when I first bought the CD in high school, first track I heard was this. I knew once the beat dropped that it was love at first hearing. All right, let's hop in here. Nas displays complex lyricism with his New York State of Mind over a track from Gang Starr's DJ Premier. The chorus samples a Rakim line from the track Mahogany, which is fitting since Nas was being heralded as the second coming of the good God MC. The second coming of the God MC. The track is considered one of Nas's greatest songs, and Primo produced the sequel 5 years later for Nas's third album, I Am. Alicia Keys used DJ Premier's beat for her 2003 track, Streets of New York, which featured verses from Nas and Rakim. Complex listed New York State of Mind in the number 9 spot on their list of 100's greatest hip-hop beats of all time. Oh, and that does remind me, as we're talking about beats, I've loved in the first beat and here in the second, be curious to see if it carries on throughout. Man, there's some really great bass work in here. And I was like, dude, I got to go look up the tabs for that. And but I guess maybe it could be from the sample. We'll see. But I've been enjoying that. Nas said the following about the track: the music just spoke to the people that needed to know what was in my head and what it was like in the minds of everybody in New York at that time. That's what I thought. I thought the sound sounded like what was in everyone's head at some point, or that sound represents a certain section of your mind. There was a lot going on in New York, especially in the 90s, same as today. That song, I think it's timeless in a lot of ways. In an interview with XXL, DJ Premier gave some background information. He said that was actually the second beat I did for Illmatic. The first one was Represent. I just had the drum pattern going with the funny little, sounds almost like an astronaut signal at the beginning. I found that Joe Chambers sample, Mind Rain, which is where that's from. I usually don't disclose my samples, but I cleared it, so it's all good. I usually don't say where they're from just in case somebody picks up on it. Found the sample, and when they heard that melody, Nas and them was in agreement, like, yo, hook that up, that's hot. So I hooked it up, and Nas started writing. Right at the beginning of the record, when he says, straight out the dungeons of rap where fake don't make it back, then there's this kind of silence where the music is building up and you hear Nas go, I don't know how to start this. He just wrote it. And he was trying to figure out how to format it, like when to come in. I'm waving him in the control room like, look at me, go in for the count. So right when he looks up and sees me counting, he just jumps in. He did the whole first verse in one take. I remember when he finished the first verse, he stopped and said, does that sound cool? We were all like, oh my God. It was like, I don't even care what else you write. He also praised Nas adapting to the New York sound. On New York State of Mind, it was literally him watching me drop the needle. What you think of that? You like that? And I'm like, it's all right. Okay, keep going. You know it's a record, so I'm like bringing it to that point where I think it needs to start. Boom, I said, oh, let me hook that up. The sound that ran hip-hop was our sound. And Nas matched that. He wasn't like, shorty, you get your sound up. Know what I'm saying? wasn't get your sound up. It's like he blends right in. Producer Large Professor revealed that New York State of Mind is his favorite song on Illmatic. The intensity and just the pureness. Like, he captured the whole New York perfectly. As a fan of Nas, as a fan of Preem, and as a fan of hip-hop, like, it was just like, yo, this is crazy. Nas told Rolling Stone it's one of his favorites because that one painted a picture of the city like nobody else. About 18 when I'm saying that rhyme. I worked on that first album all my life, up until I was 20 when it came out. I was a very young cat talking about it like a Vietnam veteran, talking like I've been through it all. That's just how I felt around that time. He said I had most of it written already. The original rhyme was probably close to 60 bars, so I just broke it up. When I got in the studio, we heard that record. We were just listening to records. I'd sit with Premier for hours on end. When he started putting it together, I just pieced the stuff that I had. I wrote a couple new things in there too. All right, we've read a lot from DJ Premier. I don't want to read all of this. But DJ Premier has a few more things to say about it. Okay, cool. We got a Genius Breakdown video. We'll work to get that on Patreon. Okay. I don't know how to start this. Still managed to drop arguably one of the best rap songs ever. It's a marathon of wordplay, rap mastery. Yeah, there's several things that I wrote down. We'll go take a look. It's time, man. Yeah, straight out the dungeons of rap. Okay, we already read this. To this day, Nas ironically says, I don't know how to start this when he performs the song live. He claims he keeps that part in the song to give the listener a more authentic experience. Since he really didn't know how to start the song at one point, since this was the first take of his first track on his first studio album. That's great, man. Because I think sounds like it's become such an important line for people that for him to keep using it, I think it kind of gives that right amount of nostalgia that's like, yeah. Rappers, I monkey flip them with the funky rhythm I be kicking. Musician inflicting composition of pain. I'm like Scarface sniffing cocaine, holding an M16. See with the pen, I'm extreme. Now bullet holes left in my peepholes. It's a poetic way of describing violence in his neighborhood. The bullet hole is in his apartment door, suggests there's no escape from the chaos that surrounds him. Peepholes, homophone for people, suggesting urban violence has cut down some of his friends as well as damaging his property. Now bullet holes left in my peepholes. Wow, I didn't pick up on that. And so, sorry, okay. Yeah, I guess I didn't even think about the peepholes on doors. When I first heard it, I thought he was saying that kind of essentially like the bullet holes in his house or in his door were like creating peepholes, but I didn't think about bullet holes actually in the peephole. And then obviously I didn't think about the idea of bullet holes in people or peoples. Y'all know my stilo with or without the airplay. Stilo is a corruption of the word style from the Spanish estilo. Prophetically, Nas is telling us that we will all know his rap style whether or not he's getting played on the radio. At the time, Nas was alluding to the fact that he had an underground following. Today, it is still true because Nas is not a rapper who gets crossover hits or radio play. Yet the entire corpus of modern rap has sprung from his style, footprinted in the songs of Illmatic, like this one. You know, that makes me really interested as well after hearing this to like hear the things that came before it and see what was it that really shifted the scene. And feel free to give me any insight along the way as well. I keep some E&J sitting bent up in the stairway. E&J brandy is a relatively inexpensive liquor. The fact that Nas mentions it here really says a lot about where he was when he wrote this. Bent means drunk, okay? Or either on the corner getting grants with the CeeLo champs. Why is grants capitalized? Oh, okay. Man, okay. Dude, there's going to be so much wordplay in here. So we'll only be able to scratch the surface, but it's fun. Okay, let's see. We looked at peepholes. Oh, this one I was curious about. Measuring pots. I know this crackhead who said she got to smoke nice rock. And if it's good, she'll bring you customers and measuring pots. If you please this crackhead with good crack rock, she'll give you such good reputation with her fellow crackheads that you'll need to use measuring pots to supply them all. Okay. Let's see. You got to slide on a vacation. Inside information keeps large erasing in their wives' basin. It drops deep as it does in my breath. I never sleep, huh? 'Cause sleep is the cousin of death. Beyond the walls of intelligence, life is defined. These are normally verified, yeah, from Nas himself. A truly classic rap line evoking ghetto drug dealers. One eye open, sense of paranoia, perhaps inspired by the Talmud, the Iliad. This line's first degree meaning is evident. Sleep is a death-like inert state of consciousness. Second degree sleeping is slang for being inattentive or negligent. Nas never sleeps, never caught sleeping, because being an easy target could lead him to getting shot to death. And to top it all off, what's New York City's nickname? The city that never sleeps. Wow, that's cool. All right. Let's go ahead and move into track 3, Life's a Bish, featuring AZ and Olu Dara.
What's up? Let's keep it real, son. Count this money, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, yo, put the grants over there in the safe, you know what I'm saying?
The grants.
The Washingtons go to
Okay.
White, you know how that go.
I'm saying that's what this is all about, right? Clothes, bank rolls, and hoes, you know what I'm saying? Yo, then what, man? What?
Visualizing the realism of life and actuality. Fuck who's the baddest. A person's status depends on salary. And my mentality is money orientated. I'm destined to live the dream for all my peeps who never made it. Cause yeah, we were beginners in the hood as proper sinners. But something must have got in us, cause all of us turned to sinners. Now some resting in peace and some are sitting in San Quentin. Others such as myself are trying to carry on tradition. Keeping this weapon wrestling street ghetto essence inside us. Cause it provides us with the proper insight to guide us. Even though we know somehow we all gotta go. But as long as we leave and thieving, we'll be leaving with some kind of dope. So into that day we expire and turn to vapors. Me and my capers, I'll be somewhere stacking plenty papers. Keeping it real, packing still getting high. Cause life's a bitch and then you die. Life's a bitch and then you die. That's why we get high, cause you never know when you're gonna go. Life's a bitch and then you die. That's why we puff lie, cause you never know when you're gonna go. Life's a bitch and then you die. That's why we get high, cause you never know when you're gonna go. Life's a bitch and then you die. That's why we puff lie.
I woke up early on my born day. I'm 20 is a blessing. The essence of adolescence leaves my body.
Oh my gosh.
My physical frame is celebrated cause I made it. 1/4 through life, some godly like thing created. Got rhymes 365 days annual plus some. Load up the mic and bust one. Cuss while I puss from my skull cause it's pain in my brain vein. Money maintained, no go against the grain, simple and plain. When I was younger, this I used to do my thing hard. Robbing foreigners, take their wallets, they jewels, and rip their green cards. Dip to the projects flashing my quick cash and got my first piece of ass smoking blunts with hash. Now it's all about cash in abundance. Niggas I used to run with is rich are doing years in the hundreds. I switched my motto. Instead of saying fuck tomorrow, that buck that bought a bottle could have struck the lotto. Once I stood on the block, loose cracks, produced stacks. I cooked up and cut small pieces to get my loot back. Time is Illmatic, keep static like wool fabric. Pack a 4-matic to crack.
Name drop.
Life's a bitch and then you die. That's why we get high, cause you never know when you're gonna go. Life's a bitch and then you die. That's why we puff fly, cause you never know when you're gonna go. Life's a bitch and then you die. That's why we get high, cause you never know when you're gonna go. Life's a bitch and then you die. That's why we puff fly, cause you never know when you're gonna go. Life's a bitch and then you die.
Ooh. This is probably Oludara. So good, like the right amount of grit. Dude, I really, before we move on real quick, number one, that was such an interesting note on the saxophone there. That I don't know, it was kind of like a very melancholy type note. I love when people, and that's like real musicians, because I play a little bit of piano, a little bit of guitar, a little bit of bass. Been playing with all of it, but I am by no means a musician. And even on piano, like the black keys, I just stay away from right now because I can't make them sound good. And so, you know, notes like that on the saxophone or other things, or how people can use these notes that don't see, to me at first, don't seem like they would fit, and make them fit and sound good and bring a certain emotion across, I think is just so cool. I want to talk about AZ for a second, because at the end of his first verse, he did a really great thing with his voice, which I don't hear a lot in older stuff like this. You know, it's the kind of thing that I really love with Kendrick. I love it with Jid. And a lot of other artists do this, but those two specifically do so much with their voice and create so many different tones and expressions and things, that hearing it here and done from this guy, AZ, was really cool. Let me see. I think it was just toward the end, probably, but I don't know if we're probably in Nas's verse right now.
Now some resting in pieces.
No.
Sitting in San Quentin. Others such as myself are trying to carry on tradition, keeping this weapon western street ghetto essence inside us, cause it provides us with the proper insights that guide us. Even though we know somehow we all gotta go, but as long as we leave and thieving, we'll be leaving with some kind of dough. So into that day we expire and turn to vapors. Me and my capers, I'll be somewhere stacking plenty papers, keeping it real, packing still getting high, cause life's a bitch and then you die.
That's it. Okay. Pack and Steel, where'd it go? Okay, I think, let's see. Yeah, okay, you can just hear, it's not super crazy. Let's listen to it one more time.
Me and my capers, I'll be somewhere stacking
on the next line.
Papers, keeping it real, packing still getting high, cause life's a
keeping it real, packing steel, getting high. I don't know, man. Just stood out to me. All right, let's get into it. All right, so we talked about, obviously, just kind of the production style on it. As far as the lyrical content, it kind of named it right at the beginning, right? Clothes, bankrolls, and hoes. Really putting you inside the mindset of maybe a young man caught up in the street life in New York, and their outlook on life, right? Life's a bitch and then you die. A really sad outlook on life, but it just shows you that, is much of the sentiment. And it's almost like eat, drink, for tomorrow we die. You know, just live it up, live fast, live hard. What was who was it? That did a song about that recently that we were listening to. Man, I can't place it. I don't know. It was probably in one of our Kendrick projects just because it sounds more like Kendrick. That was kind of challenging this idea, right, of just be this flash in the pan, and that it was definitely Kendrick. That you kind of this legend, but you're only known as the legend after you die, and the death coming through the drugs and the violence and things in the streets of Compton. And so, but he does put you inside that mindset that these young men are brought up to believe. And, you know, so their whole thing is just trying to stack as much money as possible in the short time that they have, and often by means that could end up causing their deaths. Okay. And then they mentioned Illmatic in here, so maybe we'll get to the bottom of what Illmatic means, because they said time is Illmatic. This says, can't say it much better than that. Nas and AZ get existential, reflective on their lives and life in general, as well as being AZ's debut on Wax. This song is notable for the trumpet solo at the end, performed by Nas's father. That's awesome. Oludara is a jazz cornetist, guitarist, and singer, most well known for being the father. Did it say a trumpet solo? Okay, sorry, I'm an idiot. I said, what did I say? Saxophone? It's okay. Being the father of legendary rapper Nas, featuring on a couple of his songs. Dara has released 2 albums in the world, from Natchez to New York and Neighbors. Very cool. Nas wanted to sample M-Tomb's Juicy Fruit, but producer Les brought the Gap band's Yearning for Your Love instead, which was fortunate since the Notorious B.I.G. would use the M-Tomb sample on his single Juicy, released the same year. Yeah, good for them. Les provided some background information about the track in an interview with XXL. Said AZ was there. Nas was like, hey, you got something for this? A just went in the booth and spit it. Nas came right behind him. AZ had a chorus. They vibed, and before I even blinked, I left the studio, went back to the projects, and they were like, we love that Nas joint. I was like, word? How did they get that? AZ added, after the hook was there was like, you got to spit, dog. I was like, all right, if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. I did it. Everybody liked it. That was it. It was history made. Yeah, I think he's done... he did a really great job on this track. Sorry if I get a little bit distracted. My wife and 3 children are currently out school supply shopping because school for them starts back tomorrow as of filming this. And so there are a few questions that she has for me that require my attention. But no, I've really enjoyed AZ on this. I'm curious what he's done. Let's see, AZ rapper. Anthony Cruz, better known by his stage name AZ, is an American rapper best known for his work with fellow East Coast rapper Nas. The two formed the New York City-based hip-hop group The Firm in '96, along with Foxy Brown, Cormega, and Nature. Okay. He's performing near me in Atlanta, August 5th. So he's still going. I wonder what his discography looks like. Let's do this. AZ. Okay, so he released an album in 2026, Doe or Die. Yeah, these old school graphics are cracking me up. And this is coming from a graphic design artist. Do or Die in 95. Okay. Pieces of a Man, 9 Lives. Well, I mean, seems to have had a perfectly fine career. All right, let's see what else we can find out here. Okay, explaining a little bit more about the sample. There's still consistent debate as to who outperformed who on the track. Though many believe AZ's verse is the better of the two, it's even generally regarded as one of the greatest verses of all time. Though Nas doesn't seem to have publicly admitted to having been outperformed by AZ, he doesn't mention that AZ's rhymes were crazy in his verified annotation. And again, LES, not somebody I've ever heard of. LaShawn Davis Lewis, American hip-hop producer, most known to have worked with rapper Nas. Yeah, he's worked with AZ, Nas. Oh, look, Will Smith getting jiggy with it. What? Come on now. Miami? Oh my gosh, dude. I loved Miami when I was younger. That just made me so excited. Okay, a lot of work with Nas. He's worked with Jennifer Lopez, Lil Wayne. I can't believe he did some of, wait, did I just see Big Pimpin' on there? No, I must have seen something else. Big Willie style? Okay, so he obviously did a lot for Will Smith. Miami, get jig with it. Candy, Big Willie style, chase variation. Oh, man. He produced some of Will Smith's biggest songs. Can't lie, AZ's verse greater than Nas's. Nas killed this, AZ buried it. Hey, good way to say it. Okay. Man, there were a few things oh yeah, this buck line. I switched my motto. Instead of saying F tomorrow, okay, that buck that bought a bottle could have struck the lotto. So it's like a positive outlook. Nas has gotten wiser with age. He used to spend money for immediate pleasures like getting drunk. Now he thinks it's best to plan for the future. Instead of wasting time, he realizes every dollar could be saved or invested. Although participating in the lottery doesn't seem like a sign of maturity, Nas is simply using this image as a metaphor for his growth. All connects to the theme established at the beginning of this verse, the reverence for being alive. Yeah, I think it is it's more of just a positive outlook. Like, I'm not even thinking about tomorrow, forget tomorrow, or like the, song was saying all throughout, about just dying and like life sucking and then you die. Is saying the buck that bought a bottle, the buck that could have just gone toward me drinking and only enjoying the pleasure of a moment, could have done something for my future. So it is giving you this hopeful outlook and the desire to keep living. So yeah, that's a really great line, man. Time is Illmatic, keeps static like wool fabric. Are we only going to get a... Okay, so we have this interview portion. So one of a few times Nas mentions the word Illmatic on the album. Here's another. Static perhaps meaning non-changing. A lot of folks grow up in the hood, remain trapped in the cycle, unable to get out. Also, wool fabric readily produces static electricity. 2014 documentary Time is Illmatic about the making of Illmatic gets its title from this line. Great. That's not helpful. So we could probably just do a quick search. Meaning of title Illmatic. The title Illmatic means supreme ill, beyond ill, or the ultimate level of being cool, dope, or exceptional. In the 1990s, street slang, ill meant crazy. I mean, I Get that? Or bad in a positive way. Adding the suffix matic, as in automatic, turns it into a state of being naturally or ultimately cool. Nas defined it as the science of everything ill. Nas originally stated the word was a nod to his incarcerated friend from the Queensbridge housing projects named Illmatic Ice. Before choosing Illmatic, Nas briefly considered naming the album Word Life. Cool. So it's sick, bruh. Sorry. Pack of 4 Matic to crack your whole cabbage. Okay. Okay, let's get into track 4. This is The World Is Yours.
The world is yours. The world is yours.
It's mine, it's mine. Whose world is this? It's mine, it's mine, it's mine. Whose world is this?
The world is yours. The world is yours.
It's mine, it's mine.
It's your oyster.
Dumb Pete, watching Gandhi till I'm charged and writing in my book of rhymes. All the words past the margin. The whole of mic I'm throbbing. Mechanical movement. Understandable smooth shit that murderers move with. The thief's theme. Play me at night, they won't act right. The fiend of hip hop has got me stuck like a crack pipe. The mind activation. React like I'm facing time like Pappy Mason. With pins I'm embracing. Wipe the sweat off my dome. Spit the phlegm on the streets. Suede Timbs on my feet. Makes my cipher complete. Weather cruising in a 6 cab. I'm on Taro Jeep. I can't call it. The beats make me falling asleep. I keep falling, but never falling 6 feet deep. I'm out for presidents to represent me.
Say what?
I'm out for presidents to represent me.
Say what?
I'm out for dead presidents to represent me.
Whose world is
This is where Jay got it from.
The world is yours.
It's mine, it's mine. Whose world is this?
The world is yours. The world is yours.
It's mine, it's mine. Whose world is this? It's mine, it's mine, it's mine. Whose world is this?
The world is yours. The world is yours.
It's mine, it's mine.
To my man Ill Will, God bless your life. To my peoples throughout Queens, God bless your life. I trick we box of crazy bitches, aiming guns and all my baby pictures. Beef with housing police, release scriptures that's maybe Hitler's. Yet I'm the mal, money getting style, rolling foul. The versatile honey, sticking wild, golden child, dwelling in the rotten apple. You get tackled, a caught by the devil's lasso. Shit is a hassle. There's no days for broke days. We selling smoke pays while all the old folks pray to Jesus, soaking their sins in trays. A holy water, odds against nods and slaughter. Finger the word best describing my life. To name my daughter my strength. My son and star will be my resurrection. Born in correction, all the wrong shit I did, he'll lead in right direction. How you living large or broke, or charge cards are mediocre. You flipping coca, playing spit spades and strip poker.
It's mine, it's mine, it's mine. Whose world is this?
The world is yours. The world is yours.
It's mine, it's mine. Whose world is this? It's mine, it's mine, it's mine. Whose world is this?
Yo, the world is yours. The world is yours.
It's mine, it's mine, whose world is this?
Love the scratching.
I'm the young city bandit.
Gosh.
Single-handed for murder raps. I kick my thoughts alone, get remanded. Born alone, die alone. No crew to keep my crown a throne. I'm deep, I sound alone. Caved inside 1,000 miles from home. I need a new nigga for this black cloud to follow. Cause while it's over me, it's too dark to see tomorrow. Trying to maintain, I flip, fill the clip to the tip. Picturing my peeps, now the ink can make my heartbeat skip. And I'm amped up. They like the champ up. Even my brains in handcuffs. Headed for Indiana, stabbing women like the Phantom. The crew is lamping, Big Willie style. Check the chip to smell. Plus I post round wow. Stash through the flock clothes, burning dollars to light my stove. Walk the blocks with a bop. Checking dames plus the games people play. Bust the problems of the world today.
It's mine, it's mine, it's mine. Whose world is this?
The world is yours. The world is yours.
It's mine, it's mine, whose world is this? It's mine, it's mine, it's mine.
is yours.
It's mine, it's mine, whose world is this? Break it down.
Yeah, alright. To everybody in Queens, the foundation. The world is yours. To everybody uptown, yo, the world is yours. The world is yours. To everybody in Brooklyn, y'all know the world is yours. The world is yours. Everybody in Mount Vernon, the world is yours. Long Island, yo, the world is yours. Staten Island, yeah, the world is yours. South Bronx, the world is yours.
Hey, if you're enjoying this video and you want access to hundreds of hours of additional content from dozens of artists, then check out my Patreon. That's where we host music videos, live performances, exclusive live streams, behind the scenes content, documentaries, and you get the ability to help vote on the albums we listen to here on the channel. Patreon is the best way to support this channel, and you can get access to the entire library, past, present, and future for just $5. Join the amazing community that we're building over there, and I try to make it worth your time and your money. All right, let's get back into it. All right, pretty positive spin from that we've kind of been moving in, even from the last track, this idea the world is yours and the ability to achieve, you know? And man, it's very reminiscent of me, which I'm sure impacted Jay-Z. What did I say? Impacted Jay-Z because even the shout out to the city, the love for the city and the different areas and things like that, which could have been a thing, I'm sure, you know, before Nas and before Illmatic. But that closer for me reminds me a lot of Jay-Z, and obviously at this point I'm much more familiar with Jay-Z's body of work than I am with Nas's, as this is my first Nas album. I've done a handful of Jay-Z albums, including Watch the Throne, as we were kind of leading up toward some work with Kanye. So let's see here. The World Is Yours was the third single from Illmatic that saw Pete Rock provide a jazzy backdrop with a piano sample from Ahmad Jamal's I Love Music, mixed with a vocal sample from T-Law Rock's It's Yours. The title is in part inspired by a scene from the movie Scarface, which is also referenced in the music video. Fellow Queens native Q-Tip created a remix of the track, which was famously sampled in the chorus of Jay-Z's 1996 single, Dead Presidents. Nas said the following: "The world is yours. The track speaks to me because it has a life of itself without even one word on it. When I heard it, it had a life to itself. It was like I needed music that really was alive. That beat, it was a piece of art to me. So it was perfect for ideas I was having." Yeah, I mean, the beat was so good, especially you kind of hit that breakdown section with all the scratching, and even the scratching was getting progressively, oh gosh, what's the word? Like aggressive. And then eventually it was like, it's just so cool. And really makes me, I'm like, dude, okay, I want to listen to these and try to channel my New York City boom bap and see if I can create a beat along these lines, you know, especially because this kind of style is something that I really, really love. So producer Pete Rock provided some background information. So we were in my basement. Large Professor had brought him over. That's when I actually first met Nas, when Large brought him up to Mount Vernon. We went through beats and stumbled across that one. It wasn't like I made it then, it was already made. So I just popped the disc in. He was like, yo. Next thing you know, we in Battery Studios knocking it down. When I was doing the scratches, DJ Premier was there. He was just standing there looking in amazement. I was like, come on, you that dude too. It's awesome when real recognizes real. So Nas said at the time, getting a beat from Pete Rock was like getting a beat from Kanye West or Timbaland or Dre. I fought to get that sample on there. Pete had a way of doing his beats, and he was Pete Rock. So I didn't want to interfere that much. But I had It's Yours in my head, and I thought it would sound ill. At the last minute, he fit it in there, I think at the mix. I didn't know how he was going to fit it in there, but it was perfect how he did it. Pete Rock. Peter Phillips, better known as Pete Rock, is an American record producer, DJ, rapper, born in Bronx, New York in 1970. Rose to prominence in the early 90s as one of half of the hip-hop group Pete Rock and CL Smooth. He's the older brother of Grap Luva and cousin of Heavy D. Builds his beats from samples. Along with DJ Premier, he's one of the most influential and respected hip-hop producers of all time. If DJ Premier is your number one, Pete Rock is number two, or vice versa. So let's see. Oh, okay. Runaway. Complexion. A Zulu Love. Okay, got some Jay-Z here. Dead Presidents 2. Eminem. Lupe Fiasco. Mac Miller. Jeez, dude. So yeah, I've definitely come across Pete Rock before. Done a couple things with Kanye. Lil Wayne. So cool. All right. I got to remember his name. Pete Rock. Pete Rock and DJ Premier. Song is fresh. Arguably the best song on one of the greatest albums of all time. Okay, let's look at a few things. Even this opening line, I think it was kind of the idea of getting like soaking in some wisdom and then going to write, because it says, it's the world is mine. I sip the Dom P. Is that Dom Perignon? Dom Perignon champagne. Watch the movie Gandhi. Okay, watching Gandhi till I'm charged. Then writing in my book of rhymes all the words past the margin. So he's like kind of doing his pre-game ritual. Starting because by watching the story of a man fighting against injustice, he gets charged up and ready for songwriting. So a lot of rappers carry around a book in which they jot down rhymes that come into their head. Nas must be a believer in this technique because he covers every single inch of the book with his rhymes, even dedicates a song to his rhyme book years later. The third line continues past its rhyme with an extra syllable, charged, margin, beautifully mirroring Nas's description of writing past the margin in his rhyme book. That's really cool. This stands out even more as the rest of the verses come out in tidy couplets. To hold the mic, I'm throbbing, mechanical movement, understandable smooth that murderers move with. The thief's theme, play me at night, they won't act right. The fiend of hip-hop has got me stuck like a crack pipe. Oh, that's so cool. Time like Pappy Mason. Famous drug lord Howard Pappy Mason was facing sentencing for murder when this album was released in 94. Just as Pappy will be sitting in jail, Nas feels trapped, knowing he only has a limited time to convert his gift into meaningful music for the people. His pen has two meanings. The literal pen and the pen referring to prison. The mind. Time like Pappy Mason with pens I'm embracing. Wow. Suede Timbs on my feet make my cipher complete, whether cruising in a Sikh's cab or Montero Jeep. Let's see, there were a few things here. What did he say? Ill will? To my man, ill will. Willie Graham, ill will, was a childhood friend that was shot and killed. Nas pays tribute to Graham on a number of his songs and named his record label after his late friend. Wow. Nas knows Queens is rough enough for this to happen to anyone there. That's, I mean, sad, but so cool. I don't think I'd ever heard of Ill Will Records, but to know the origin of it, that's really fun. He also mentioned Big Willie. The crew is lampin' Big Willie style. The time Big Willie was slang for bon vivant and or baller would later become the title of an album on which Nas co-wrote several smash hits. And then, what was he talking about? Scripture? Hitler? Okay. I trip. We box up crazy, aiming guns in all my baby pictures. Beef with housing police. Release scriptures that may be Hitler's. Law enforcement and authorities being compared to Nazi Germany is a long-held trend in hip-hop. Boycott cop culture opened up for all. Hakim Bey opened up for all of the role of amateur cop Hitler to merely immediate fantasy of middle-class resentment and revenge. Okay. Man. So good. All right, next up we have track 5, which is also halfway through the album, titled Halftime.
Check me out, y'all. Nasty Nas in your area, about to cause mass hysteria. Before a blunt, I take out my fronts, then I start the front. Matter of fact, I'll be on a manhunt. You couldn't catch me in the streets without a ton of reefer. That's like Malcolm X catching a jungle fever. King poetic, too much flavor, I'm major. Atlanta ain't braver, I pull a number like a pager. Cause I'm an ace when I face the
Atlanta Braves, shout out.
That is giving me grace. Now wait, another dose, say you might be dead. And I'm a Nike head, I wear chains that excite the feds. Ain't a damn thing gonna change. I'm a performer, strange, so the mic warmer was born to game. Nas, why did you do it? You know you got the mad fat fluid when you rhyme. It's halftime.
Mad fat fluid when you rhyme.
Hey, yo, it's halftime. It's halftime. It's like that. You know it's like that. I got it him, now you never get the mic back. When I attack, there ain't an army that can strike back. So I react never calmly on a hype track. I set it off with my own rhyme, cause I'm as ill as a convict who kills for phone time. I'm max like a sex, a flex like sex in your stereo sets. Nas a catch wreck, I used to hustle. Now all I do is relax and strive. When I was young, I was a fan of the Jackson 5. I drop jewels, wear jewels, hope to never run it. With more kicks than a baby in a mother's stomach. Nasty Nas has to rise cause of wise. This is exercise till the microphone dies. Back in 83, I was an MC sparking, but I was too scared to grab the mics in the parks and kick my little raps cause I thought niggas wouldn't understand. And now in every jam, I'm the fucking man. I rap more niggas than in the slave ships. I used to watch chips, now I load block clips. I got to have it, I miss Mr. Magic. Versatile, my style switches like a faggot. I'm an intellectual, a rap, I'm a professional, and that's no question, yo. These are the lyrics of the man, you can't near it, understand, cause in the streets I'm well known like the number man. In my place with the bass and format, explore rap, and tell me Nas ain't all that. And next time I rhyme, I be foul. Whenever I freestyle, I see trial, niggas say I'm wow. I hate a rhyme fighter's rhyme. Stay tuned, I assume the real rap comes at halftime. Right, yeah. It's halftime. Exhale, it's halftime. It's halftime. I got it going on, even flip a morning song. Every afternoon I kick half the tune, and in the darkness I'm heartless Just like when the Nogs hit word to Marcus Garvey, I hardly sparked it. Cause when I blast the herb, that's my word. I be slaying them fast, doing this, that, and the third. But chill, Pastor Andre, and let's lay. I bag bitches up at John Jay and hit a matinee, putting hits on 5-0. Cause when it's my time to go, I wait for God with the fofo, and biters can't come near. And you put a hell to the fell cop who shot Garcia. I won't plant seeds, don't need an extra mouth I can't feed. That's extra Philly change, more cash for damp weed. This goes out to Manhattan, the Allen of Staten. Brooklyn and Queens is living fat in the boogie down. Enough props, enough clout. Ill will rest in peace, yo, I'm out. It's still halftime. To the Queensbridge crew, to the Queensbridge crew, you know it's halftime. 92. It's halftime. Yo, police, man, come on, let's get close. Halftime.
When he was closing it out, he said, "Let's get Ghost." I assume that means like, let's get gone, let's get out of here. Let's make that saying popular again. Yo, let's get Ghost. If I said that, my kids would be like, Dad. Oh, man. Those are kind of t-shirts I want to make. Just these like really like deep cut lyrics. You know, let's get Ghost. Put a little Ghost on it. Okay. Gosh, there were so many things in here, dude. And is it a trumpet again? I think it was a trumpet. Sound more like a trumpet to me in that one. So I think it is. Let's see if it talks about it. So 2 years prior to the release of Illmatic, Nas debuted single Halftime. That makes sense because he mentioned in there about it being 92. So the jazzy boom bap track was produced by Large Professor, who provided some background information on the recording. Said the session for Halftime was hot because he was getting his big chance. I had the beat already. We sat there, cooled out a little bit. He was taking it easy because he was like, this is my turn now. I'm going to make it count. An excerpt of Mark Lamont Hill's superb essay about the song. Critical pedagogy comes at halftime. Nas as black public intellectual can be found here. Nas talked about the making of the halftime song and music video. Awesome. We'll try to find that when we're doing Patreon content. Yeah, I mean, one thing I've been thinking through this, especially if he was working on this album for several years. So he was 20, not 21. And if he was releasing this single 2 years prior, he'd be 18, but he had been working on it for even longer than that. Like, he is giving a lot of wisdom here. And I find that in a lot of these rappers, a lot of hip hop artists, they just have a great, it's almost like when you watch those videos of people from many, many years ago and, or like high school students from the 80s or 70s or 60s or whatever, and they seem so mature that he gives this feel, and a lot of rap and hip hop artists do, even especially when they were very young. Like we just did Joey A. Badass's 1999. You know, they were kids, man, and it was so like insightful, and they just have a tap on life and culture, and even pull in, you know, history. And in the 1999 album, they pull in, you know, things because they're rapping about school at points of math and things like that. So that definitely stands out. Busta Rhymes said, I went over to Large Professor's house. He made the halftime beat in front of me, and he was going to give it to me at the time. I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't know why I didn't know what to do with it, because I loved the beat. Then I heard it on halftime. I was like, I was stupid for not touching this beat. Busta said, I just took it in stride. I was feeling good that people were feeling that way about me. I just appreciated Jungle when he told me that. Nas said this about the song. I remember one time Busta Rhymes stopping by, and I met him. I guess he knew me from being with Large Professor. My brother told him that he should leave Leaders of the New School and go solo. What else has Large Professor worked on? So I've done a lot with Nas. Okay. J. Cole, which we did this album from J. Cole. Eric B. I'm not familiar with Eric B, but there's that Mahogany song that was mentioned earlier with Rakim. Cool G Rap, Cormega, which we heard Cormega, his name a few minutes ago. Mobb Deep. Wait, is this like Rin? Oh. I haven't heard this. This is not too old. So a Nas retake, Halftime from Rin. Did he work with him or did he just sample? That's really cool. I've got a couple of Rin videos on here and I've done a couple of albums. I still need to get to Sick Boy from Rin. Okay, let's see. All right, let's go up and look at a couple of things. What do you mention? Fronts? Before I blunt, I take out my fronts. Okay, I didn't know if he was talking about grills here. Okay. Cassettes. I max like cassettes. Max was a brand of cassettes. Okay. He mentions 83. Back in 83, I was in MC Spark, and Nas was 10 years old at the time. He was reticent to share his raps about Sesame Street, fearing they would be considered too intellectual to attract a mass audience. Seriously, in his biography, we learned that Nas would never rap outside in his projects because he felt more comfortable in his apartment with people he knew well. Makes sense. What do you mention? Garvey? Word to Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey was the father of the Pan-African movement, who, like many black leaders past and present, and like the narrator here, was persecuted by law enforcement. The mention of Garvey's name along with Malcolm's continues the song's run of mentioning key figures, sites of the black freedom struggle. Mark Hill writes about this in his great essay on the song. Nas's reference to Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and Marcus Garvey also demonstrate a sustained commitment to political subject matter in spite of the culture shift from overtly political music to the gangster rap sound of Ice-T, NWA, and Snoop Dogg that had begun to dominate both hip-hop and American popular music. Okay, we also get a mention here of Andre. Chill pass to Andre. Andre is a brand of cheap champagne before going to go slay some girls. Nas likes to prep with some bubbly. It's notable that he uses slay again here with a positive sexual meaning, in stark contrast to slayin' in the previous line. Okay, he also mentioned a person, John. I bag up at John Jay. Nas is not talking about John Jay College of Criminal Justice, an NYC-based city university. As you can tell from the video above, he's talking about John Jay High School. As of 2003, the school was broken up into 4 different high schools: secondary schools for law, journalism and research, and Millennium Brooklyn. Okay, you also get a Garcia, and yo, go to hell to the foul cop who shot Garcia. In 92, a riot broke out in Washington Heights, New York, after Jose Kiko Garcia was shot by police. A grand jury refused to indict the foul cop, Michael O'Keefe. Okay, and then we already looked up the 92 reference. Okay, man. So good. Let's move into the second part of this album. This is track 6, titled Memory Lane, Sittin' in the Park.
Fuck that shit, word, word. Fuck that other shit, you know what I'm saying? We gonna do a little something like this, you know what I'm saying? Stay up on this. Keep it on and on and on and on and, you know what I'm saying? Big Nas, Grand Wizard, what is it like? You know what I'm saying? Yo, man. rap for listeners. Blunt heads, fly ladies, and prisoners. Hennessy holders and old school niggas, then I be dissing her. Unofficials that mold woolly tie. I dropped out of coolie high, gas to buy, cocaine, cutie pie. Jungle survivor, fuck who's the lava. My man put the battery in my back. A difference from energizer. Sentence begins indented. With formality, moderation's infinite. Money wise of physiology. Poetry, that's a part of me. Retardedly, Bob. I dropped the ancient manifested hip hop. Straight off the block, I reminisce of park chance. My man was shot for a sheep coat. Chocolate blessing make me see him dropping my weed smoke. It's real, grew up in trife life. The times of white lines, the high pipes. Murderous night times, the night fights and bright crimes. Chill on the block with cognac, cold strap. With my peeps that's in the drug money market interact. No sign of the beast and a blue Chrysler. I guess that means peace for niggas. No shice device to just snipe ya. Start off the dice, roll a match for crap to CeeLo. With side bets, so roll the deuce, nothing below. Peace God. Peace God. Now the shit is explained. I'm taking niggas on a trip straight through memory lane. It's like that, y'all. It's like that, y'all. It's like that,
I wonder what this sample is. Dude, I gotta learn how to scratch.
One for the money, two for pussy and foreign cars, three for Alizé niggas deceased and behind bars. I rap the vanguard, check that prognosis. Is it real or showbiz? My window faces shootouts, drug overdoses, live amongst the roses. Only the drama, for real. A nickel plate is my fate. My medicine is the ganja. Here's my basis. My razor embraces many faces. Your telephone blown.
Nickel plate is my fate.
People's a petrol, dramatic, automatic, fofo. I let blow and back down popo when I'm vexed. So my pen taps the paper, then my brain's blank. I see dark streets hustling brothers who.
Oh, that's cool.
Some are prosper, some fail. Judges hanging niggas, uncorrect bails. For direct sales, my intellect prevails. From my hanging cross with nails, I reinforce the frail with lyrics that's real. Word to Christ, a disciple of streets. Trifle on beats, I decipher prophecies through a mic to say peace. I hung around the older crews while they sling smack the dingbats. They spoke a fat cat, that nigga's name made bell rings, blacks and face.
Gosh, dude.
Team of Jamaica Queens thing. Uptown was outpost, son. Heard he was kingpin, yo. Fuck rappers real, watch the herbs stand still. Never talking to snakes, cause the words a man kill. True in the game, as long as blood is blue in my vein. I pour my Heineken brew to my deceased crew in memory lane.
Coming out of Queensbridge. Coming out of Queensbridge. Coming out of Queensbridge. Coming out of Queensbridge. Coming out of
The most dangerous MC.
coming out of
I love that. Ooh.
The most dangerous MC.
coming out of
The most dangerous MC. Been number one, and you know where me from.
I wonder where that Jamaican came from. There's one line that he said in there, and I'm wondering if I heard it correctly. He said, when his pen touches the paper, his mind goes blank. And then I feel like he started naming almost this like picture in his mind, like as he's trying to visualize the story that he's telling through the bars that he's writing. That's what it came across to me, is almost this like getting in touch with the muse. Like my pen touches the paper and I've kind of like go to this place, and instead of it being like, oh, what's the words? He's just like feeling and envisioning something and then kind of letting himself write from that. We'll see if that's what he's communicating, but I do love that idea. Obviously, he could be talking about pen touches paper, mind goes blank, in the sense that like he's struggling to write something, but I don't think that that's the case. So let's hop over and take a look. And I am curious again, kind of the end of the song, you get this Jamaican, what did he say? Let's go. Memory lane, sitting in the park. Yeah, at the end, this line, me number one and you know where me from. Was that him? The distinct storytelling picture painting of his environment. Yeah, I wonder if it says Craig G. Let's look at Craig G. Please be a Jamaican guy. Better known as stage name Craig G, American rapper, perhaps best known as one of the members of hip-hop producer Marley Marl's Cold Chillin' Records group. So maybe that was just Nas putting on kind of a Jamaican accent. This says, over a soulful loop from Reuben Wilson's We're in Love, mixed with vocal samples from Juice Crew members Craig G and Biz Markie. Okay, I recognize the name Biz Markie. Nas reminisces about the fast life he was living as an adolescent, causing him to feel like a grown man when he was just a teenager. He said, memory lane is just how I saw the world growing up, and I miss it. DJ Premier provided background information. He said Nas wanted to help me pick a sample for that, and he heard the Reuben Wilson sample from We're in Love. He was like, that's it. Wasn't really into that one, but he was like, yo, that's it. Preem, cook that up. So I just hooked it up because he asked me to. I was in competition with the other producers on the album, so I wanted to be funkier than what they had. He wrote it right on the spot. Once we cut the vocals, I heard what he was saying. I wasn't mad at it. I wasn't against it. I just thought I could have done better. Interesting. Nas said, I just felt like all the stuff I saw in Queensbridge, it meant something. For some reason, I knew this ain't the average stuff a kid my age is supposed to be seeing. I knew it was something special about what I was seeing, and it wasn't all good. This was real life. It's situations, whether it's welfare, my friends having dope fiend parents, or teenagers being chased by cops. Nas is the GOAT. Dope lyricism, the song, second verse had me speechless. Second verse, one of the best verses ever. Perfect beat with twist of chill. Says, as long as blood is blue in my vein is also an oxymoron regarding gang affiliation. Everybody knows about Bloods, red, Crips, blue. Not really much more to explain, just called on to it. Was Nas affiliated with Crips? The Crips? Okay. There were a few things. So, intros, Grand Wizard. That's why they mentioned it here. Let's see, we had Woolly Tie, unofficial, that smoke Woolly Tie. Woolly Tie are joints laced with cocaine or PCP for that extra special high. Nas isn't down with that, considers anyone that is an amateur. I'd be dissing unofficial that smoke Woolly Tie. Dropped out of Coolie High, gassed up by a cokehead cutie pie. What do you say? The Beast and Chrysler were over here. No sign with my peeps that's in a drug money market into rap. No sign of the Beast in the blue Chrysler. I guess that means peace for, and no shiesty vice to just snipe ya. No sign of the Beast is a reference to the police. Many New York police drove blue Chrysler Diplomats in the 1980s. Okay, I was wondering if that's what he was speaking to. Let's see. Pen touches paper. Okay. Paper? My pen taps the paper, then my brains blank. I see dark streets, hustling brothers who keep the same rank, pumping for something, some will prosper, some will fail. When Nas is dealing with writer's block, he clears his mind, thinks about what he knows best, the streets of Queensbridge. The hustlers that inhabit those streets. That is the consistent with his description of Illmatic from the trailer. I gave you what the streets felt like, what it sounded like, tasted like, smelled like, all in that album. I tried to capture it like no one else could. As explained via a chess metaphor in The Wire, while a few of the lower-level hustlers and crime organizations move up in the organization and prosper, the vast majority end up being stuck in the same place until they take a bullet for the higher-ups or sent to jail by one of the judges mentioned in the next line. Some fiends scream about Supreme Team, a Jamaican Queens thing. The Supreme Team, hold on. The Supreme Team were a drug gang who operated out of South Jamaica projects in Queens, of which Fat Cat was an influential part. So they spoke of Fat Cat, that his name made bell rings black. Group's leader was Kenneth Supreme McGriff. It is rumored the shooting of 50 Cent was ordered by McGriff after the song Ghetto Quran came out. Apparently 50's naming of high-level gang members didn't sit too well. Interesting. Uptown was Alpo. Albert Alpo was a Harlem drug lord in the 1980s who had pretty mean rep until he turned snitch. The movie Paid in Full was based on the lives of Alpo and his partners, Rich Porter and Ozzie Fison. Alpo downgraded a life sentence in the 35 years after his 92 arrest by snitching on the enforcer, Wayne Perry. It's rumored that he was released in July 11, then put into witness protection. I bet prison was a tough ride. I wonder if they had to keep him somewhere specific. They don't like snitches in prison. All right. Track 7. This is One Love featuring Q-Tip.
Word is born, you got 6 minutes on that jack, kid, or shit is real.
Hey, yo, check this shit out, man.
Hey, yo, God, give me a cigarette, man.
Yo, here you go. Yo, check it out, man. Check out what I got here, man.
What is that? What's that?
Yo, it's a let out.
Listen, is this the... I don't ever stop it in the song. Is this what kind of like identifies the boom bap? Boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, boom, bap, boom, bap. Is that where it kind of originates from?
Word is born,
Boom,
you got
boom,
6
bap,
minutes on that
boom,
jack, kid, or shit
bap,
is real.
boom, boom, bap.
Yo, check this shit out, man.
Hey, yo, God, give me a
Bass,
cigarette.
snare.
Yo, here you go. Yo, check it out, man. Check out what I got here, man.
What is that? What's that?
Yo, it's a let out got from my man.
Sounds like a xylophone.
It's born.
What it say, kid?
What up, kid? I know shit is rough doing your bid. When the cops came, you should've slid to my crib. Fuck it, black, no time for looking back, it's done. Plus, congratulations, you know you got a son. I heard he looks like you. Why don't your lady write you? Told her she should visit, that's when she got hyper. Flipping, talking about he acts too rough. He didn't listen, he be ripping while I'm telling him stuff. I was like, yeah, shorty don't care. She a snake too. Fucking with them niggas from that fake crew that hate you. But yo, guess who got shot in the dome piece? Jerome's niece on her way home from Jones Beach is bugged.
Xylophone's crazy. There's going to be some crazy production notes about that.
What up with Poor Mega? Did you see him or y'all together? If so, then hold a fort down, represent to the fullest. Say what's up to Herb, Ice, and Bullet. I left for $100 in your commissary. You was my nigga when push came to shove.
One what?
One love.
One love. One love. One love. One love.
Stay strong, out in New York, the same shit is going on. The crackhead stalking, loud mouths is talking. Ho, check out the story yesterday when I was walking. That nigga you shot last year tried to appear like he hurting something. Word him up, I heard him frontin', and he be pumping on your block. Your man gave him your Glock, and now they run together. What up, son? Whatever. Since I'm on the streets, I'ma put it to a cease. But I heard you blew a nigga with an ox for the phone piece, wildin' on the island. But now with Elmira, better chill, cause them niggas will put that ass
ass on fire. Last time you wrote, you said they tried you in the showers. But maintain when you come home, the corner's hours on the reels. All these crap niggas know the deal. When we start the revolution, all they probably do is squeal. But chill, see you on the next VI. I gave you my Duke's loop for kicks, plus sent your flicks. Your brother's buck wildin' in 4 Main. He wrote me, he might be this case till he come home, I'm playing low key. So stay civilized, time flies, though incarcerated, your mind dies. I hate it when your mom's cries. It kinda makes me wanna murder, for real. I even got a mask and gloves to bust slugs, but one love. One love, 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 one love. Sometimes I sit back with a Buddha sack, minds in another world, thinking how can we exist through the facts written in school textbooks, Bibles, etc. Fuck a school lecture, the lies get me vexed up. So I be ghost for my projects. I take my pen and pad for the weekend, hitting nails while I'm sleeping.
The xylophone's way pulled back now.
Time alone to relax my dome, no phone left and not at home. You see the streets have me.
Now it's back up.
Fucking with the corners, have a nigga up in Bellevue at HDM. Hit with numbers from 8 to 10. A future in a maximum state pen. It's grim, so I comes back home. Nobody's out but shorty do I rolling 2 Phillies together in the bridge. We call them oops. He said Nas, niggas call me busting off the roof. So I wear a bulletproof, a pack of black tray deuce. He inhaled so deep, shut his eyes like he was asleep. Started coughing when I peeked to watch me speak. I sat back like the Mac, my army suit was black. We was chilling on these benches where he pumped his loose cracks. I took the L when he passed it. This little bastard keeps me blasted and starts talking mad shit. I had to school him, told him don't let niggas fool him. Cause when the pistol blows, the one that's murder be the cool one. Tough luck when niggas are struck, families fucked up. Could've caught your man, but didn't look when you bucked up. Mistakes happen, so take heed. Never bust up at the crowd, catch him solo, make the right man bleed. Shorty's laugh was cold-blooded as he spoke so foul. Only 12 trying to tell me that he liked my style. Then I rose, wiping the blunt's ash from my clothes and froze. Only to blow the earth smoke through my nose and told my little man I'm a ghost. I bros left some jewels in his skull that he could sell if he chose. Words of wisdom from Nas, try to rise up above. Keep an eye out for Jake, shorty, walk one love. One love, one love, one love, one love.
I love that jewels in his mind quote line.
To all my niggas locked up for Queensbridge and all over. To my man Gold, one love. To my man Herb, one love. To my man Lake Luciano, one love. Can't forget my motherfucking heart, Big Bo, one love. To Oogie, one yeah, one love.
Man, it's a really well-crafted song, you know, because it sounds like if somebody were writing a letter to somebody in prison, kind of keeping them up with what's going on. You know, all the different affairs of friends and people who have, you know, gone to jail or what's just going on. And it's just a really well-crafted, like you can really see, you put it, because not only does he kind of share those things, but then he brings it back to like what seems like his kind of first person view of him, you know, smoking with this other person and them kind of talking. I'm assuming the idea of one love here is this solidarity, because they're talking about their different friends and acquaintances and stuff like that, and just how they're there for one another and have each other's back, wishing each other well, keeping each other in the loop on what's going on. So let's see. Oh, and that xylophone was wild, man. If they don't talk about that in here, I'm going to be so surprised. This says One Love was the final single. Fellow Queens native Q-Tip provided the vibes from the Heath Brothers' Smilin' Billy Sweet Part 2 is the backdrop for Nas's song, which finds him reading letters he wrote to his incarcerated friends about what was happening in the neighborhood. Producer Large Professor provided some background information on how this track came together. Nas was like, yo, you think Q-Tip would give me a beat? that's really when I was getting up with the Tip a lot. So I was like, yo, of course, just roll through with me out to Jamaica, Queens one time. We'll just sit down. And we did. We rolled out there back when Tip had all the stuff in Fife's grandmother's basement. And we sat down. Tip was like, oh, word? I don't really have no beats done right now, but I'm going to show you the record I'm going to use for you. And he played this record, Heath Brothers, Smiling. Okay. And it was just like, oh, that's crazy. He hooked it up and did his thing, and it was on. The third verse of this song was the basis of a scene in the movie Belly, starring Nas and DMX. Not seen that. The shifting of perspective in his verses is one of Nas's iconic techniques, as Adam Bradley notes. Nas is perhaps contemporary rap's greatest innovator in storytelling. His catalog includes songs narrated before birth, fetus, after death, amongst kings, biographies, unauthorized biography of Rakim, and autobiographies, do-rags, allegorical tales, Money is My Bitch, and epistolary ones, One Love. He's rapped in the voice of a woman, Secco Story, and even of a gun, I Gave You Power. Nas's storytelling abilities stem from none other than Slick Rick. The last verse is almost reminiscent of Slick Rick's children's story, as Nas tells a young child about the life of crime. Q-Tip said, just from when you heard Nas initially, you knew he was ill. When I first heard his rhyme, I knew he was ill. Everybody knew he was ill. But I told Faith, you guys got something special. Because he has vulnerability in his rhymes. A lot of people who MC, you don't hear the vulnerability. He keeps it relatable, but he has a lot of depth. He can keep it gangsta, he can keep it educated, he can keep it thoughtful. He can tell you that he's the stuff, and he can tell you when he messes up. And that's what makes Nas endearing to everybody. Let's see. A good guess, this is why Q-Tip is not marked as a featured artist. A reason he's not marked as a featured artist is because he only does the hook. If he'd had a rap verse, that might have warranted it back then. Being marked as a featured artist was about helping market to people. His name recognition alone probably wasn't just enough in 94. Featured credits weren't prominently displayed on the cover art back then unless it was a huge artist. They'd probably be buried somewhere in the credits, like Q-Tip's show-stealing verse on D-Light's Groove is in the Heart. I still don't see any mention of that xylophone. Interesting. That xylophone, though, thank you in the comments. It's like so odd in there. But, you know, obviously it works. Just the rhythm of it's so strange. What was it? V-I? Oh gosh, this is going to be so hard to find. There was something in here like VI. Oh, but chill. See you on the next VI. Is that like a visit? Okay, VI is a slang term used among prison inmates that means visit. So Nas here tells him you'll see him on the next visit. What real A? It kind of makes me want to murder for real. Man, this stood out to me because I was like, is he saying something in here, or is it just to accentuate the lyric? Hearing your mom's cries, it kind of makes me want to murder for real. I wonder if he said murder for real. Hearing his friend's mom makes him cry. He wouldn't let go of that, but one love. This extremely sentimental line illustrates both Nas's love for his crew, his hood, as well as his immense frustration, criminal justice system. Yeah, I wonder if the way he rhymed it was it kind of makes me want to murder for real. And that's why he did that. All right, track 8. This is One Time for Your Mind.
Yeah, it's Illmatic. Yeah. It's Illmatic. Yeah. It's Illmatic. One time for your your mind one time. Yeah, whatever.
A little slower cadence.
One time. Yo, whatever. One time for your mind one time. Hey, yo, nine. What up, kick that fucking rhyme. Check it out. When I'm chillin', I grab the Buddha, get my crew to buy beers and watch a flick, illin' and root for the villain, huh? Plus every morning I go out and love it sorta chilly. Then I send a shorty from my block to the store for Phillies. After being blessed by the herb's essence, I'm back to my rest, 10 minutes, some odd seconds. That's where I got the honey at, spends the night for sexin'. Keep lubrication, lifestyle protection. Picking up my stereos, remote control quickly. Ron G's in the cassette deck, rocking the shit. G, I try to stay mellow rock. Well, acapella rhymes that make me richer than a slipper made Cinderella fella.
Nice.
Hobbs, I'm prepared to bomb troops. Y'all niggas was born, I shot my way out, my mom dukes. When I was 10, I was a hip hop and shorty wop. Known for rocking microphones and twisting off for 40 times.
Oh, that's good.
Time for your mind one time. Yeah, whatever. One time for your mind one time. It sound clever. Hey, yo, nah, fuck that, man. That shit was fat. But kick that for them gangsters, man. Fuck all that, man. Right. What up, niggas? How y'all? It's nasty.
I love tracks like this that make it sound like friends are just standing around.
I'm trying to get this money, God. You know the hard times, kid. Shit, Kobe starving make you wanna do crimes, kid. Put on my lamp, cause a crime couldn't be the rhyme. Niggas catch a 3 to 9s, Muslims yelling free to mine. And I'm from Queensbridge, been to many places. As a kid, when I would say that out of town, niggas chased us. But now I know the time, got an older mind, plus control of 9. Fine, see now I represent mine. I'm new on the rap scene, brothers never heard of me.
Dude.
Yet I'm a menace, yo, police wanna murder me. Heidi dog drinker, represent the thinker. My pen rides the paper, it even has blinkers. Think I'll dim the lights, then inhale. It stimulates, floating like I'm on the North 95 interstate. Never plan to stop when I write, my hand is hot. And expand a lot from the Wiz to Camelot. The parlayer, I make your heads bop, paw. I shine a light on perpetrators like a cop's car. From I play the mic and you'll thank God. I wreck shit so much the microphone and need a paint job. My brain is incarcerated. Live at any jam, I couldn't count all the parts I rated. A whole of Mac 11, an attack, a reverend. I contact 11 L's and Max in heaven. One time for your mind, one time. Sound clever. One time for your mind, one time. Yeah, whatever. One time for your mind, one time. Yo, from 92 to 99. Yeah. Yeah, that shit was crazy fat, Paul. Know what I'm saying? But check it. You got another verse for me. I want you to kick it. You know what I'm saying? Kick that shit for the project. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, that might be one of my favorite tracks on here. It's so chill. But then you had like, it kind of got a little more isolated. Obviously not full a cappella, but I love when they strip back because you really primarily just had the drum beat in there and then that bass comes in. Boom, 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 boom. Love it, dude. If you didn't know, I've been learning to play the bass and I absolutely love it. Maybe because the guitar is so reliant on chords and chords are a little more difficult to play in my opinion. But I've been learning guitar as well, but there's something about the bass that feels so free to me. And I love the sound of it. I love the effects that it can create because obviously the guitar is generally way more up front, but the bass is an indispensable instrument and creates such a great feel and vibe. And playing around on the fretboard of the bass is just so much fun trying to hook together these different notes, and I just absolutely love it. So the bass in here is just so good. And so this was interesting too, because obviously it's kind of just a braggadocious track about his skills and abilities in writing. But there was like this little narrative piece that kind of led up to it about sounding like kind of hanging out with his friends and stuff, and then meeting up with this girl, and then starting something on the either whatever sound system. I don't know if it was mentioning a record player or a CD player, but then kind of taken to the mic. And so it sounded like there was just kind of a little narrative piece that then led up to him just starting to rap and things that I thought was really interesting. All right, let's get over here. One Time for Your Mind features a jazzy breakbeat from the 1969 track Walter L. by Jimmy Gordon and his Jazz and Pops Band. Courtesy of producer Large Professor, who spoke about the track, said it was a cool because it was a little quick rhyme that he had, some shorty to the store stuff like that. Not like he was trying to go too hard or lyrical. It's just like, yo, I'm a regular dude. I'll kick some cool around the way corner stuff for you. Nas said the following: One Time for Your Mind was amazing to me. Again, the track by itself was out of this world. Nas's friend Grand Wizard added, at the time, we were just listening to the beat. And Nas was like, come in the booth with me, help me with the hook. So I get on the mic and say, one time for your mind, one time. And Nas comes in with, yeah, whatever. He just knew how to bounce off me. I think that's it, man. It's not only does it feel like guys just kind of standing around rapping together, it literally is. They're just kind of going and vibing off one another. I also just, I think, put together the irony of the name Grand Wizard, because isn't that what they call like the head of the KKK chapters or whatever? Yeah, the Grand Wizard primarily refers to the highest ranking leader in the hierarchy of the Ku Klux Klan, or professional wrestling manager. So Grand Wizard rapper, that's so funny. Better known as Grand Wizard, is an American musician and DJ, widely credited as inventor of the scratching technique. In addition to scratching, he gained credibility for his mastery of needle drops, other techniques which he invented or perfected. Grand Wizard rapper name, let's go origin. His name from the rap group The Fantastic Five, who gave it to him around 77, 78 because they already had a Grand Master in their circle, felt his magical turntable skills made him seem like a wizard. Many early DJs used the title Grand Master, so Theodore and his crew wanted a distinct name. It's like you're a Grand Wizard. So yeah, I mean, I don't want to totally take it out because I know Grand Wizard is beyond Ku Klux Klan, but there has to be some connection, or at least the irony, kind of a middle finger to the KKK, that like a really great hip hop pioneer is called the Grand Wizard. So I don't know, maybe they didn't think about any connection to that whatsoever. So even if it's a side thing, I think that's pretty funny. So Nas said, honestly, the song was just like, hey, we're chilling. And again, it just gives that feeling. So that's awesome. That song I didn't give him, I didn't care. It was just go in there, have fun. I wanted Wiz's voice on that. Out of everybody around, I thought he had a voice that can be on a record and come off. I always wanted him to rhyme and stuff. That was my way of pushing him into that. That's awesome. Probably the worst track on Illmatic, still an awesome song. I disagree. Open Mike Aguilia, editor with a purple star. It's okay. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. I thought it was a lot of fun. 92 to 99. I was curious about this line. I wanted Wiz's voice. Yeah, but that, okay. But this doesn't help the 92 to 99. It was grand. Well, I mean, I feel like I get the 92, but what's the 99? Somebody help me out with that. All right, time to move into the penultimate track. This is track 9, titled Represent. Oh, I love that.
Straight up shit is real, and any day could be your last in the jungle. Get murdered on the humble, guns are blast, niggas tumble. The corners is the hot spot full of mad criminals who don't care. Guzzling beers, we all stare at the out of towners. They better break north before we get the 4-pounders and take their face off. The streets is filled with undercovers, homicide chasing brothers. The G's on the roof trying to watch us and knock us and kill the coppers, even come through in helicopters. I drink a little vodka, spark a L and hold a Glock for the fronters. Wanna be ill niggas and spot runners, thinking it can't happen till I trap them and clap them and leave them done. Won't even run about guards, I don't believe in none of that shit. Your facts are backwards. Nas is a rebel of the street corner, pulling the tech out the dresser. Police got me under pressure.
Represent, represent. Represent, represent. Represent, represent.
Yo, they call me Nas, I'm not your legal type of fella. My wet drinking, marijuana smoking street dweller who's always on the corner, rolling up blessed. When I dress is never nothing less than guess.
Okay.
With a bop and my hat turned back. Love committing sins and my friends sell crack. This nigga raps with a razor, keep it under my tongue. The school dropout, never like this shit from day one. Cause life ain't shit but stress, fake niggas and crap stunts. So I guzzle my Hennessy while pulling on mad blunts. The brutalizer, brutalizer, accelerator. The type of nigga who be pissing in your elevator. Somehow the rap game reminds me of the crack game. Used to sport valleys and gazelles with black frames. Now I'm into fat chain, sex and text. Fly new chicks and new kicks, heinies and bags.
Represent, represent. Represent, represent. Represent, represent.
No doubt, see my stats are fat, this is what it's about. Before the BDP conflict with MC Shan, around the time with Shantae, just the real Roxanne. I used to wake up every morning, see my crew on the block. Every day's a different planet, had us running from cops. If it wasn't hanging out in front of cocaine spots, we was at the candy factory, breaking the locks. Nowadays, I need the green in the flash, just like the next man. Fuck a yard guard, let me see 100 grand. Could use a gun, son, but fuck being a wanted man. But if I hit rock bottom, then I'ma be the son of Sam. They call the crew to get live too, with Sue Barkim, my brother Jungle Big Bo, cooks up the blow. Micah chop it, Mayo, you count the profit. My shit is on the streets, this way the Jakes will never stop it. Is your brain on drugs? To all fly bitches and thugs, enough respect to the projects. I'm Ghost, one love.
Represent, y'all. Represent. Represent, y'all.
There's another reference to Ghost. I'm Ghost and One Love.
Represent, y'all. Represent.
One time for your motherfucking mind. This goes out to everybody in New York that's living a real fucking life. In every projects, all over. To my man, Big Will, we still here. The 40 side of Vernon. My man, Big LES. Big CeeLo from the Dime. Sean Penn, the 40 Busters. My crew, the Shorty Busters. The 41st side of Vernon Posse. The Goodfellas. My man, Cormega, Lakey the Kid. Can't forget Drawers. The Hillbillies. My man, Slate, Wallet Head. Black J, Big Oogie. Crazy Barriers.
Giving everybody a shout out.
We rock shit a lot. Malachi, PhD, and my man Primo, who Gangstar.
94 real shit, y'all.
Harry, yo.
Fuck y'all crab ass niggas, though.
Bitch ass niggas. Bitch ass niggas.
Bitch ass motherfucker.
Come to Queensbridge, motherfucker.
Yeah, yo, this. It's my man.
Bash him up. Bash him up.
Let's bring it back. That's just the warm us up, man. Cause we bugging.
It's funny when the reverb kind of comes in at the end. It's almost like, you know, anytime you end up in a place with an echo. Just a couple weeks ago, we were at a Braves game and parked in the parking deck, and there was like nobody in there, and just like a bunch of kids. Well, my kids are kids, but we just all started yelling and making funny noises and stuff because of the echo. And so I don't know if they had the reverb on while they were doing that and could like hear it in their mics or whatever feedback that they had. But it does just sound like once the reverb comes on, everybody's like, hey, you know, wanting to get their shot in there. It's interesting because normally those shout outs would come on like a closing track. So really curious to see what he does on the closing. Okay. There were a few things in here, but let's take a look at this first. After slowing things down on Time for Your Mind, Represent finds Nas getting hyped up with his crew from Queensbridge, backing him up in the studio. DJ Premier sampled Lee Irwin's Thief of Baghdad. And although he revealed that this was the first song he created for Illmatic, he also said in a 2019 interview that the album version of Represent is actually a remix of the original jazzier version. He said we'd already done Represent, but not the one on the album. The one on the album's a remix. Once we got to me hearing One Love and Life's a Bitch, I was like, yo, I gotta update mine. Nas talked about the track. Represent. Raw, me in the studio, bunch of my boys having a good time. Hennessy flowing, that's what it was. It was fun for all of us. I think we had a good time doing Represent. In an interview, Nas's brother Jungle recalled the recording session for the outro of Represent. That was one of the days Nas let everybody get in the mic booth and talk and stuff. I don't know why we used to do that, because none of us, we only had 1 or 2 rappers in the crew. Like, everybody who was in the studio was in the booth, but none of them would even want to be a rapper. They just want to roll with the rapper. Whole project was happy to just be out of the projects and stuff. Everybody was packed up in D&D studio. It's exactly what it felt like too. Okay, we got DJ Premier talking about it. Let's see. Nas said that was a serious weight representing Queensbridge. I was honored to do it because of what Shan and Marley had already done. I just wanted to grab the flag and hold it up as high as ever. I felt like they had already paved the way, and now they needed an unbeatable soldier to hold that flag up high. It's a cool way of putting it. After the battle with BDP, you can't ignore the doubt that people had in my hood. So it was like, I'm here now, and I got it. I'm gonna hold it down to the death. Battle with BDP. Let's see what pops up here. No, let's see. Battles BDP. Let's say, Nas? Queensbridge? Okay, this says the legendary feud between Boogie Down Productions and Queensbridge was known as the Bridge Wars, a fierce 1980s rivalry over where hip-hop began. It pitted KRS-One and BDP from the South Bronx against MC Shan and the Juice Crew from the Queensbridge housing projects. The Bridge, MC Shan released, I'm going to say Sean, so sorry if I'm wrong, released this Queensbridge anthem, which BDP felt claimed hip-hop started in Queens. South Bronx in 1986, KRS-One and BDP fired back, defending the Bronx as the true birthplace of the culture. The Bridge is over. BDP delivered a crushing blow with this classic track widely seen as winning the borough battle. Wow, that's interesting. Nas grew up in those exact Queensbridge houses, was heavily influenced by this era. Nas has openly discussed how the intense BDP versus Queensbridge rivalry shaped the identity, grit, and lyrical dominance of his home neighborhood. Okay. That might be fun to do a video kind of visiting those songs. All right, let's get back in over here. Who's always on the corner rolling up blessed when I dress? It's never nothing less than Guess. Which obviously Guess the brand. What did I see? D's? I think it was up toward the top. The D's on the roof trying to watch us and knock us. D's stand for detectives, DEA, and other drug enforcement organizations. Okay. Now, with Guess, I wonder if this will give us any background on where Guess started. When Illmatic dropped in '94, Guess was one of the most popular clothing brands in New York City, despite being far from lavish. So while it would seem quaint to hear one of today's rappers' name drop the brand as a sign of wealth, Guess seemed pretty dope to a kid from the projects coming up in the game before hip-hop began to obsess over brands like Gucci and Givenchy. Nas's fellow QB rapper, Cormega, name-dropped the brand as well on 1996's Affirmative Action. Let's see. Let's do origin of Guess brand. The Guess clothing brand was founded in 1981 in Los Angeles by 4 brothers from the south of France. Paul Marciano, I've heard that name. So let's see, Guess brand, New York, hip hop. Key connections include 1990s Golden Era rap shoutouts and ASAP Rocky's collaborative capsule lines. During the early 90s, Guess was viewed as a high-end premium streetwear staple in New York. That's interesting, though, that it started in Los Angeles from French Brothers. Okay, let's see. Oh, we already looked up BDP. You mentioned Roxanne in here. Around the time when Shanty dissed The Real Roxanne. In 1984, two female rappers, The Real Roxanne and QB's own Roxanne Shanty, notice how Nas puts his neighbor's name first, the time when Shanty dissed The Real Roxanne, got involved in a legendary beef. Dozens of response songs were recorded by various artists joining the beef in what is now called the Roxanne Wars. A series of hip-hop rivalries during the mid-1980s, yielding rap music's first diss record, perhaps the most answer records in history. One of hip-hop's earliest feuds, perhaps the first rap beef. The dispute rose over a failed appearance at a radio promotional show, primarily involved Roxanne Shanty and The Real Roxanne. So how many tracks went back and forth? Okay. This version became a hit. Over the next year, at least 30 and more than 100, according to some claim, such records were produced. Crazy. It's another thing that would be a fun exploration for a video. Okay, and they keep saying crab ass as a diss. Why is this not showing up? Crab stunts? Okay, so a crab, blah, in East Coast slang is unpleasant, untrustworthy guy who's always coming up with plots to accelerate your downfall. This means Nas, as well as the rest of the urban youth he is representing here, had a pretty negative outlook on life. Project contributor. Yeah, they use that a lot in several songs. See, like this. I mean, I knew it was what's the word I'm looking for? A diss. Just didn't understand exactly where the crab came from. All right. Closing track for 1994's Illmatic. Track 10. It Ain't Hard to Tell. Oh man, this is cool.
I attract clientele. My mic check is life or death, breathing a sniper's breath. I exhale the yellow smoke of Buddha through righteous steps, deep like the shining, sparkle like a diamond, sneaker Uzi on the Allen, and my army jacket lining hit the earth like a comet invasion. Nas is like the Afrocentric Asian, half man, half amazing. Cause in my physical, I can express through song, delete stress like Motrin, then extend strong. I drink my wet with Medusa, give her shotguns in hell from the split that I lift and inhale. It ain't hard to tell. Loot up, parties I shoot up, Nas I analyze, drop a jewel, inhale from the L, school of full well, you feel it like Grail, it ain't hard to tell. I kick a skill like Shaquille holds a pill, vocabulary spills, I'm ill, plusmatic, I freak beat, slam it like Iron Sheik, jam like a tech with correct techniques, so analyze me, surprise me, but can't magnetize me. And while you're planning ways to sabotage me, I'll leave them froze like heroin in your nose. Nas I rock well, it ain't hard to tell.
Great how he bent that. Froze like heroin.
like a violin. End like Leviathan is deep, well let me try again. Wisdom be leaking out my grapefruit true. I dominate break loose, giving Mike's minstrel cycles. Streets disciple, I rock beats that's mega trifle. And groove even smoother than moves by Villanova. You're still a soldier, I'm like Sly Stone and Cobra. Packing like a roster in the weed spot. Vocals are squeeze Glocks, some CZs drop, though they need not to sneak. My poetry's deep, I never fell. Nas's rap should be locked in a cell. It ain't hard to tell.
Ever since starting this channel, I have fallen back in love with physical media, vinyls and CDs in particular, which is why I'm really excited to be an affiliate with vinyl.com. You can browse an extensive library of beautiful vinyls, CDs, accessories, and more. And as a partner of this channel, vinyl.com is offering 10% off for anyone who uses my code malnourished at checkout. You can also check the description for a link or scan the QR code on the screen. All right, closing with probably one of my favorite beats on this album. Man, there's just so many great jazz type elements within here, and I'll kind of save some of that for the closing thoughts. As far as kind of the nature of what he's talking about, obviously he's just kind of backing up his place within this. Thematically, I don't really know maybe what could have done. It doesn't feel like there was like this big I don't know, I guess I don't know what I'm necessarily trying to say. So I guess as far as closing, I mean, he came in with probably some of his best verses, great rhymes. I felt like the track before, because of him giving the acknowledgments and things like that, felt more of like a close to everything, but obviously don't have any issue with this being the close. Let's take a look here. Following the 92 release of Halftime for the Zebrahead soundtrack, It Ain't Hard to Tell was released as the lead single for Illmatic. Large Professor produced the track around a sample of Michael Jackson's 1982 hit single Human Nature. It was reported that MJ approved the sample for the young Queensbridge rapper under one specific condition. Nas was not allowed to curse or use profanity on the track. Large Professor also produced a popular remix of the track, which was initially released on the single but later included on the 2002 EP From Illmatic to Stillmatic, the remixes. That's so interesting. I mean, that's awesome of MJ to approve this. This is so funny to me, though. And I haven't listened. I've heard, obviously, a handful of songs from Michael Jackson. Never listened to an album. We do have one of his albums that got voted in on Patreon for August, so that'll be fun. An alternative version of It Ain't Hard to Tell was titled Nas Will Prevail, featured on Nas's demo tape, which it does make sense, you know, putting this as the close, but it was also a lead single. It does feel like that. It feels like a lead single, or at least a single that you would put out because it's so good. But it's just funny that it's the lead single, but it's the closer on the album. So Nas gives some background information. Man, there's so many people breaking down all these songs and stuff. I really can't wait to get to some of that content. Okay, so Nas said, we did the original version, Large Professor's apartment. Once there was a deal in place, we were able to use a real mic and a real studio to re-record. After me, SWV did Right Here with the same sample. I felt like I was responsible for that record, but the reality is that Human Nature was such a beautiful song that people wanted to replay that. When the SWV record came out, I was pissed because if I was to have a record for the radio, that was the perfect one. And when SWV took the shine, who is SWV? Sisters with Voices, better known as SWV, are one of the best-selling girl groups of all time. I have never heard of them. You're the One? Is this the You're the One? Da 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 da. And that's interesting. They're also on this Chance the Rapper album, which you guys told me don't listen to. My plan with that, because we did one of Chance's albums recently, my plan is I think I'm going to listen to that album on my own and do like my first just plain album review video. But that's funny to see it on here. So let's see. When SWV took the shine, it was like, oh no, of course, it was my first album. I was like, wait, how am I going to get Michael Jackson to clear this? Then I realized we're label mates. So we made it happen. We had an in-store, and I'd never been to one. I expected to sign maybe 40 autographs at the most. My record company kept telling me what a scene it was down there. I had no idea what they were talking about. It was me and the crew. We were excited, happy, celebrating. We went into the store. When I saw the crowd, it really let me know this is going to be something. This is not a tape that comes out and they just play it for a little while. When we left, it was kids screaming, crying, chasing the car. It was like in sync. And this is my first album. It was a mob scene. That's when I knew. I was like, yo, this is going to be all right. I looked around. I was like, this can be all right. That's so cool. Somebody said, oh dear Lord Jesus, that Human Nature sample kills me. I swear this track is blended so seamlessly. I can't imagine hearing this back in the day when everything was much more relevant than it is today in 2014. Probably would have crapped myself. One of my top tracks of all time right here, man. One of the best beats ever, if not the best, honestly. Nas's raps not only have the best metaphors and imagery, they also flow perfectly between each line. You don't even need to hear the song to understand the rhythm. Each word embodies a carefully harmonious drum beat. Amazing. Okay. Let's look at a couple of things real quick. So this Medusa line. I drink Moet with Medusa. Give her shotguns in hell. To shotgun in hell from a pipe or other smoking device, followed shortly by an exhalation into someone else's mouth. This term was developed by troops in Vietnam who actually would put a marijuana cigarette in a spliff into the open chamber of an unloaded shotgun and blow it into each other's faces. Okay, crazy. In Greek myth, Medusa had hair made of snakes. Her gaze would turn men to stone. But Nas is so bad he can look Medusa straight in her eyes. And instead of him turning to stone, he gets her stoned? What? I thought that was where that was going, but I didn't understand. Give her shotguns in hell. Yo. That's amazing. Wow. I'm glad we looked into that. Not stories by Aesop. Aesop's Fables, a collection of writings. The Buddha's monks in your trunk, turn the bass up, not stories by Aesop. Nas's story differs in that they don't teach easy moral lessons, but rather dwell on the darker side of life where good deeds go unrewarded, bad deeds go unpunished. It has been suggested by some scholars that Aesop was a black African slave from Ethiopia, which makes his position in hip-hop even more prominent. Ugh, school a fool well, you feel it like Braille. It ain't hard to tell. I kick a skill like Shaquille holds a pill. Vocabulary spills. I'm ill plus matic. I freak beat slam it like Iron Chic. Oh my gosh, dude. So crazy. And then the last line I want to look at is this minstrel, which is obviously a play on minstrel, but I wonder if let's see. Was it here? Yeah. I dominate break loops given Mike's minstrel cycles. The song was recorded back when people still used breaks, percussion-heavy instrumental interludes, instead of beats produced by computer today, to prove that Nas really is the smooth criminal on beat breaks. The instrumental cuts out the samples that had been in the background for most of the song, allows Nas to rap strictly over a drum kick for the rest of the verse. Giving Mike's minstrel cycles. I don't fully get that line. I mean, I know what a minstrel cycle is, but I also feel like there's a tie to min. And maybe it's something with Mike? I don't know, man. You guys help me out if you know anything about that line. Okay, let's talk some closing thoughts here. Jeez. There's so much going. Look at my palms, dude. They look like they're bleeding from being on my desk. Like, there's so much depth in everything that he's saying, but it's also very easy to get your arms around at the same time. The flow is so good, man. It's so smooth. And this whole album has these great, like, jazzy street feel. And it still sounds so good. Everything on it sounds so good. There's just straight lyricism, flow. It's hard. I wish I could understand fully the context. Obviously, I know what people say about this, and I can see how great of a work this is. But some of these things are so hard until you can, find somebody, a documentary, or your ability to kind of go back and hear what was leading up to it and get the context. But there's part of me that wishes, man, you could just put yourself in the place, having knowledge of maybe the hip hop and rap that was going on and the music scene in general, and then something like this coming out. But I think some others have said too, it wasn't until a little bit down the road that you really begin to see the effects of what this did. But I wish I could go in real time, hear people, listen to it and fully understand the context of the time. But such a great album, man. I'm glad that we finally got to it, our introduction into this. And there's plenty more to get to, plenty more to go. So feel free to share your comments in the comment section. I always love having a conversation with you guys there. As always, feel free to check out Patreon, where you have hundreds of hours of additional content from dozens of artists. And then if you are interested in getting any vinyls or CDs, visit vinyl.com. Use my code malnourished at checkout to get 10% off of any and every order, or use the link in the description. Thank you for hanging out with me for this one. I hope to see you in the next one, because we're eating good.